Hello, this is Cinema Cody, and I'm a big fan of Ren, so I really want to listen to some more Ren. So, Ren has a song called Money Game. It's like Money Game Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. I don't really know. I've never seen any of it before, so I don't understand. I don't know what's going on with that. But Money Game Part 2 is requested by Yona Grossman. But I don't have Money Game Part 1 or 3 requested. Nobody's requested in the comment section that I know of. Just the Part 2 one. So I don't know if Part 2 is like better than the rest or what, but I thought about doing a video separate for each one, but then I saw this video that says it's parts 1 through 3 all together in one, and I saw that some other people had reacted to all 3 parts together as well. Maybe there's more parts that I don't know of, but so far I've seen 3 parts. The charismatic voice, she did parts 1, 2, and 3 all together. I love her. Hopefully this is a good video that put all 3 of them together. I don't know what this is. The thumbnail has a person with like a white bag over their head with a rope around their neck and like black drawn on eyes. I'm gonna guess it's like more of his rappy kind of like Losing It was, like kind of songs. I don't know if it's gonna tell a story or something. I don't know, but I'm talking too much because it's gonna be a long video. It's 13 minutes and 42 seconds for the 3 put together. Then with added talking, this could be a 30-minute video.
Strange times we're living in, world comfort fear in hierarchy parties, they make us feel inferior. Greed runs through parliament in theories. Devils walk among us, they fit the criteria. Eerie theories drag fear in weary-minded men when we're clearly living in dictatorships, nearly blinded by illusions to choose. But who's fooling who? Ball chain to your shoes on pain. It's a crying shame. Pursuit of our own wealth lights a flame that makes greed a game that lets the whole world burn. As the world turns, the whole world burns. Money was invented for trade, but now those bits of paper twist hearts, make slaves, turns a saint into a sinner, a child into a killer, his finger on the trigger of a money game.
Oh, rain, 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 a storm it comes our way, and no surprise to distorted lies, poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. This whole money game.
Okay, so hopefully I didn't pick a bad one because it's just a picture that's just staying there. It's not showing Ren actually singing or anything. It's not like a music video or a live video or anything. It's just a still image and then music in the background. I don't know if the other parts are going to be the same way or not, but this is what I picked, and this blindly going into this, I don't know. Let me see what the Money Game Part 2 thing was that was requested. Official lyric video. Don't do live first. That's all that it says. Okay. So, we'll see about this. Anyways, this is a more chilled kind of, it's a little rappy, but it's more chilled, laid back kind of a song than I expected. Talking about like government and money and the evils of money, basically. How money controls things and how money can be bad. Sounds awesome as always. It's Ren. Of course it's gonna sound awesome. I love the kind of chillness of it. The woo, that part. of it.
Dear Mr. President, it's evident that everyone's a resident of fear when they support these ideas that keep us separate. When they make us believe that everybody is coming to terrorize you in the streets. They say proudly through gritted teeth, it's my right to hate. That's freedom of speech. When did freedom become a reason to hate? A way to justify a racist slur or insult we make? There's an irony in freedom, because us in the West, we have pillaged and plundered and murdered our savages, colonized all of the rest. It's called hypocrisy. Preach a certain value that you'd never keep yourselves. Your country was in flames, you demigrate yourselves in a second. Still you spit your venom, demonizing immigrants when really you're an immigrant, because all of us are immigrants or descended from immigrants. Irony is imminent, I'll shed the light on immigrants. America was colonized by Britain. Britain, it was colonized by Rome. Also colonized by the Saxons. They were German, by the way. You know how people throw shade upon the Germans because of history's pain, and yet we make the same mistakes all again. Demonize a whole people, Jewish or Muslim, the same and the same. Old situations play on repeat. The same old TV shows repeat. Yeah, we worship the bleak. Our opinions aren't our own and we follow like sheep. There's no left, there's no right. In the middle we sleep.
Rain, 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 rain. The storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison in the face, but we like to point the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. This old money game.
I don't know if it's about to change to part 2 or not, but the image changed. So I don't know. But it just says money game. It doesn't say part 2 or anything on it. I don't know. Anyways, it kind of it's talking about politics, talking about immigration, saying, you know, how and freedom of speech, and how is a lot of people, it seems like they're like, oh, freedom of speech, I should be able to say anything I want, but they want to say all kinds of hateful, horrible stuff, which I agree that's horrible, but I also agree that we should have freedom of speech to say that. We shouldn't have, you know, someone telling us what we can and cannot say, whether it's bad or not. But, you know, saying it's hate speech and racist stuff and horrible things like that, and saying that, you know, people are so scared about immigrants coming over from other countries, but that's how countries have been since a very long time ago. You know, the America, you know, was filled with Native American people, and English came over, and, you know, French and Italians and Irish and Scottish and immigrants and stuff, and that's what made the country, and that's where we came from. The now Americans like me that live here, you know, we come from immigrants, and that's how all countries have been formed. Like, it's people coming from other places and going there and settling there, and that's the way the world is. It just keeps turning and keeps going.
Strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor man learn, the rich man don't care for your narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. A government of hypocrites. These counterfeit politicians sit in parliament, not adequate. Come on, needlessly bleeding, resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street burned in a fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain while my fingers on the trigger of a money game.
Oh, rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way. And no surprise to distorted lies. Poison in the veins, but we die upon the blame, 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 blame. It's easier to blame, but point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game.
And yeah, he's also saying, like, everyone's so divided these days. I'm not sure about British politics at all. I've heard talk about Brexit. What's it called? Brexit. I have no idea what that means. But I've heard that. And I've heard talk about, like, the monarchy. Is that what you call it? The monarchy? The king, queen, royalty people, that parliament, is that what it's called? I don't know. Some people want that to, like, come down, and they don't like that, and with the whole Prince Harry, Meghan Markle thing, and all this junk. I don't really follow any of that stuff, but, you know. But in America, it's all Democrats and Republicans and Donald Trump and Biden and blah, blah, blah. And it's getting more and more divided, and, you know, Republicans blaming Democrats and Democrats blaming Republicans, and everybody thinks that they're right, and everyone thinks that they're the ones that are good and perfect and wonderful, and they know everything, and they have all the answers, and everything should run the way they want it to, instead of, like, listening to people and, like, working things out and trying to come up with, like, a common ground, or being more in the middle, you know. And sounds like Ren is saying that he is more in the middle of it, you know, not one side or the other. That's the way I kind of feel myself, is I try to be more in the middle, because it gets bad if you go to either one side too far, because both sides are wrong in a lot of ways. So if you go way too far to the right or way too far to the left, I think you're wrong. You are being judgmental, you are close-minded, you are not listening to people, you're just thinking you're right on either side, you know. You're taking the red pill, or you're too woke, or whatever the word is, you know. Either way, I don't like either one of them. You know, I like to try to stay more in the middle. So I agree with things on some on one side and some on the other. And I think that there's a more saner middle ground that people should strive to be in. You know, it's very frustrating.
This old money game. This old.
Money is a game and the ladder we climb turns a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in a nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on a seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sell much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island. Stockpile them high until they're rarer than a diamond. Step two, gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, then you're just a fucking waste man. Three, it's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. Four, expand. Clear forest, make land, fresh blood on hands. Five, why just shells? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. Six, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rock, sell water to a fish, sell the time to a clock. Seven, press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes, then run to be the president of the United States. Eight, big smile, make big wave, that's great. Now the truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. Nine, polarize the people, controversy is the game. It don't matter if they hate you, if they all say your name. 10, the world is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore.
Rain, 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 rain. A storm, it comes our way. And those who rise to distorted lies, poison in the veins. But we die upon the blame. It's easier to blame. We point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this whole money game. funny game. This all. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, give me. 2 years old, he was walking. 3 years old, walking quickly. 4 years old, he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents pay for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematic equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocol. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping a share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns to profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposit. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy told him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. And now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval. Moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the popo inside of his pocket. 35, he gets a call. I'm sorry, son, it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing this product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words still driving him to kill and devour. He makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra, one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again.
I don't know if this is part 2 or part 3, because it's not really labeled. But this is like a different type of part where it's like telling the life story of this guy, and he's doing like a lot of things sound kind of familiar between like Trump, Biden's son, I don't know, different political figures. At first I was like, is he telling the life story of one of them in particular? But I was like, no, it's like everything you can think of, you know, it's not exactly one person in particular. It's just like all the bad stuff that people of power, people that are doing the money game, that they get into, can't deny, accomplished a lot. No.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, give me. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turned to rubble and revolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside a cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. We're hyperpolarized, we're always fighting, and we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we design. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Board is an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. That leads to people killing each other. My solution is everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. If we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd, if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface, then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. 45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair. He's been drinking again. He has everything he wants. He has fortune and fame. Such a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father. It's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Oh. I don't know which parts. It didn't tell me which parts were which, but and it was all just, singing, the singing or whatever, with no video or lyrics or anything on the screen. So don't worry, though. I'm sure there's other versions of the Money Game Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, or whatever, and I'm totally fine with watching those as well. I just picked something. So if there's like a different official lyric video for Money Game Part 2, I will still watch that eventually. Let me know in the comments, what I should do. That was, very good, very insightful, as always. Ren is very smart and knows how to use his words, trying to tell kind of a story, a lesson, preaching of what he thinks the world should be like or whatever, or the problems in the world. Saying money doesn't buy everything, happiness. Money doesn't make you happy or fix everything. He still ended up in a wheelchair, with a disability. He was an addict, and his father died, and he unalived himself in the end. And he seemed to have everything going for him. He was the top. He was smart. He had so much money. He had everything going for him, supposedly. But he didn't. And what's really important is putting putting other people ahead of yourself, and not just striving for money and it's to be kind and think of other people and community and stop being so divided and embrace your fellow man and be kinder to each other and work together and not just so chasing money. I want to be top dog. I don't care about anybody else. Stepping on other people's heads as you go up the chain. That's not a good life. That's not what it's all about. Well, tell me what you thought in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye.